Hey guys, I'm here with Mr. Jake, the Bernedoodle, who goes home tomorrow. And before he goes home, I want to kind of run through everything he knows in a way that will be useful to his owners. So, how do we use the commands and the e-collar and our voice practically when our dog is actually living at home and not in a board and train program anymore? So you can see, Mr. Jake just came in from a potty break outside. I'm sure he'd really like to be inside where he knows that there's AC and some cold water. But even with this door open, he's waiting patiently. Good boy, to be called in. He's not in command right now, he's choosing to sit, that's nice. As long as he respects my boundary of this doorway, I'm happy. So if he were to break and to run through the door before I, gave him permission to, I would simply say N-O, move towards him, use my e-collar. So I'm using my voice by saying no, telling him that's the wrong thing, using my body language to tell him clearly no, go back, and of course I'm using my e-collar, which is pretty low right now, we're at a 30 out of 100, to reinforce that correction. So there's a consequence to me actually saying no. Instead of, the dogs where you just nag them and say no, 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 stop jumping, they don't speak English. So this is how we teach our dogs what N-O means. Good boy, come, good job. Nice and respectful, and he knows that recall means come and sit at her feet without jumping, without pawing me, without biting my hands. These are all really rude things, and if he does those things, I'll disagree with him immediately. So there's no question as to whether or not nibbling and jumping and pawing is ever acceptable, because it is never acceptable to me. Now, if another person allows that or even rewards it, maybe he jumps up and they pet him because, he's cute. He's a cute dog. He is like 80 pounds though, that doesn't feel good, but you know how people are. So if someone comes over to your house and consistently allows him or rewards him for doing something like that, he's gonna do it to them unless you step in and you correct him for them. Right, buddy? Good job. So far, so good. So now we're gonna do a little bit of healing around the house, and I'll tell you why we're doing that in just a second. Jake's pretty panty right now, but I think that's more from being outside in the heat than being over-aroused. Sometimes dogs will pant heavily and look frantically around and have this hard stare when they're overexcited. When your dog's overexcited, they're not reliable with their commands, so make sure you calm them down, get them in a good mindset before you ask them to do anything. Jake! That's rude, you're on camera. Alright, so now we're gonna heal around the house. Heel! I say heel, I start walking, maybe even slap my leg to get him moving with me. And then I have my e-collar remote in my hand, ready to give direction if he needs it. Put my numbers down, we're at 27 now. I have it ready. Tap right there for sniffing. To just correct him if he does anything that I don't agree with, because right now his only job is to heel, which is walking at my left leg. And it might seem kind of silly to heel inside your house because, you're not on a walk. Good job. But I'm doing this to teach Jake a better way to move through the house, because this guy is an 80-pound wrecking ball. Right, buddy? He's strong, he's big, he's boisterous. And when he gets going, if he's running room to room, he's gonna knock somebody down, he's gonna make some mistakes, and we don't want that. So we're teaching him to move calmly. So we're patterning this walking movement instead of just running room to room. These are the 3 little kids, I think, so it's gonna be a little bit important that he walks nicely through the rooms. Nice job. And I'm tapping, you see, whenever he deviates, whenever I feel like he's losing focus, because we're working right now. I'm not asking very much from him, just walk with me. Let's walk into this room. We're gonna pause at threshold so you can't go ahead of me. Heel. Down. That down should anger him. Good job. In that position until I release or recall him. Nice job. Good boy. You see, even my praise to this guy is nice and calm. I don't want to encourage excitement with him inside the house. During playtime in the backyard, that's great, go crazy, as long as you have him under control. But inside the house, we don't want to teach him to be wild. He's too young right now to be patterning naughty choices. Now, if I feel like he's getting overexcited, maybe somebody's at the front door, maybe somebody's walking by, or you're vacuuming or something, I can tell him, down. Good job. And he should relax, put his head down, make him take a deep breath in a little bit. If I say down and he doesn't down, I can simply tap the black button here. That'll give me the number on the screen, which is pretty low for him right now. Good job. So I could say down, I could say shh, or I could simply just tap, and he understands what that means. And we train him to do that. It's something that every dog comes pre-programmed knowing, so nice job. Don't try it unless your dog's actually trained. Good boy. So let's try just simply tapping. There you go. Nice job. So the down command is just one option to get your dog to understand that you want them to stay in one space in this position. Another option, of course, is the place command, where your dog goes and he lies on a boundary. So it's a bed with boundaries. He stays there. It's very clear where he's supposed to be because there's no way to confuse the floor with the bed. He knows. It's a pretty small bed, but we'll see if he can get out there for me. So I walk over to the bed, get his attention. He's watching. Place and point. Can you fit up there? Place. Nice job. Very nice job. So that bed's pretty small for him. We're gonna send him home with a much larger one. And he was kind of worried when he got up there. He said, I don't know if I can fit. And I simply tapped. It's information to him, which means keep going, keep trying something. He got up there. Good boy. He's really squeezing on there. You're such a big boy. Nice job. Good boy. When the dog goes on place, when they've been through our program, they know to automatically default to relaxation, to calm down. He's still panting because he's hot, but he is pretty good at the place command. He gets on there, he immediately falls asleep usually. Good job. Place is a great option for family movie nights, for when you have guests coming through the door and you need your dog to be anchored somewhere securely. Put him on place, and for the first few weeks or months, I recommend having a tie back. So, especially for this guy who's pretty impulsive and we're still working through that, I would have a leash shut in a window frame or tied around a heavy piece of furniture attached to him, and just long enough that he can get off the bed and walk maybe 2 feet away from it, but he can't run over and jump on your guest. The more the dog practices a bad behavior or a good behavior, the more likely they will be to do it in the future. So we want to prevent what we can with management and then correct what we can't. Good boy. Down. Nice job. Such a tight squeeze. Good boy. With my dog securely on the place bed, I can actually leave the room. And because of his proofing here, I trust that he'll stay there. But if I want to, I can call him without him being in his sight. I can do it without even saying anything too. I can just tap this button here for a silent recall. Good boy. Hey, buddy. And he comes and he sits at my feet just like a regular recall. Nice job. Good boy, Jake. Good job. Jake, break. Nice job. Now, even on break, he's not allowed to jump all over me or my guests. He needs to move around in a more relaxed manner than he was before. He can sniff, he can explore. He can't do anything appropriate like jumping on counters, trying to bust out of boundaries like the door, or harass my cat. He just needs to be a chill guy. He can grab a toy if he wants to. Good boy. Break. Go on. There you go, bud. And he's become a much nicer dog to live with, in my opinion. Good boy. Good boy. Good job. Now, even during playtime with the kids, they're never going to be alone, and they're not going to be allowed to wrestle with him. Jake knows that this is not an invitation to nip people anymore. And if he goes back to his old ways of kind of body slamming and using his mouth on people, especially the little kids, Mom or Dad will be there to back the kids up. They'll have the remote, and we can just silently tap whenever Jake does something inappropriate at a low number, within reason. Good boy. So no more physical play with him. Just fetch, tug, running. Good boy. A much safer way to play with your puppy. Good job. Now Jake's so big that he was kind of scaring his little humans because he's just so rambunctious he can actually hurt them. So it's really important that Mom and Dad are there with the remote, backing them up anytime he becomes a little bit over the top with them. Good job. He's going to be a great brother.